It's that time of the year again, guys. It's that time of the year. The Mr. Olympia, the biggest bodybuilding show of them all, is just around the corner. And I think this one will be one for the history books. Now, if we look at all the people who are qualified and expect to compete, we can see that we have 18 competitors qualified and also expected to compete. But in my opinion, I figured let me just do a top 10 prediction because I feel like that's what's most interesting. That's what most people care about. So, yeah, guys, I feel like also I have quite the ballsy prediction. So I might get flamed in the comment section below. Who knows? I've experienced that in the past actually when I made a comparison between Molnar and Terence Ruffin for the 2021 Arnold Classic. If you guys didn't know, and I didn't know either, Peter Moller has some really passionate Hungarian fans. But anyway, guys, all press is good press, right? Right, guys? Anyways, enough about that. Let's get to the prediction. So, number 10, Hunter Labrada. Now, a lot of you guys might disagree with me. You might think that he will place higher than 10th. Um, Now, last year he placed higher than 10th, but I think that that was mostly due to the fact that this year we'll have a tougher lineup, and I think that he will come in improved and he will look better than last year. But overall, I just don't think that he comes in as peeled as people that I have ahead of him, or that he is as complete as them. So for now, I think that he will place 10th, and I don't think it's a bad placing considering how strong this year's lineup is. So let's get going. Now, ahead of Hunter, I have Big Akeem Williams. Now, if the 2021 Aura Classic didn't happen, or if it was before the 2021 Aura Classic, I would have him much higher. But he really disappointed that show. He came in quite off, and I believe that he might not come in completely off, but he will come in a bit off, or at least worse than he did at the 2020 Mr. Olympia. And I think that he will place ninth, which again, guys, considering this year's amazing lineup, is not the worst, not the worst. Now, ahead of him in eighth place, I have Ian Vayer. Now, in contrast to Akeem, I feel like Ian just comes in peeled at every show that he competes in. At least that's what he has done in 2021 thus far, and I don't see anything changing for the 2021 Mr. Olympia, the biggest show that he will compete in this year. I think he will bring in an amazing package. I think that he will even beat last year's 2020 Mr. Olympia package. And yeah, he will obviously place lower than last year, where he placed seventh. But that's again, guys, just because of the tougher lineup. I think that he will come in absolutely dice to the socks out of the box, as Lewis Marker used to say. He will deliver and he will take eighth place, which is not a bad placing for him, in my opinion. Now, in number seventh, I think that we have a guy who a lot of people have forgotten about, and that is none other than Mr. James Hollingsworth. Now, James Hollingsworth, in my opinion, he is a bit similar to Ian Valier, that in the sense that he always comes in dice to the socks out of the box, and I think that he is just a bit more complete than Ian. I think that he will slightly edge him out, but I wouldn't be shocked if Ian placed seventh and Hollingsworth plays eighth. But I just did a comparison on my channel between Ian and Hollingsworth, and in my opinion, Hollingsworth just slightly edges him out. They are both dry, conditioned, quite complete, but I just feel like Hollingsworth is a bit more complete than Ian. He's just a bit better, so in my opinion, he will play seventh. Now, in sixth place, guys, and this will probably cause quite the uproar. Now, I told you guys, I warned you that my prediction was ballsy. I don't think a lot of people expected it to be this ballsy. Did ya? Huh, huh, huh. Maybe you did. Maybe you did. Now, a lot of people might think that I am smoking crack placing Bonac in sixth place, and I might just be smoking crack after I see the final results. But guys, I know that Bonek is really complete and he comes in shredded at each show. But in my opinion, he just does not have the most impressive physique, even though he's very complete and he comes in really conditioned at each show. I think that the guy I have in fifth will definitely come in a bit better. He will be more impressive, and the guy I have in fifth is none other than a guy that I think a lot of people have forgotten about, Nathan the Asha. Nathan the Asha, he just won the 2021 Arnold Classic UK. And in my opinion, he looked great at that show. Even though that show looked like he was lit by just two matches, it had horrible lighting. I think that he overall looked amazing. I watched some photos of him from Instagram that I found laying around there, and I feel like he just came in with great conditioning, and I think that he will come in even better at the 2021 Mr. Olympia. And a lot of people have probably forgotten about this guy because he really hasn't competed at a major show like the Arnold Classic or the Mr. Olympia in quite a while. So I think that he will absolutely shock the world, and he has all the tools to beat William Bonac. And he's also wider, and he is also much bigger and taller than William Bonac. I know that William Bonac might be a bit more complete than Nathan Diasha, but I think that Nate Diasha will sort of be this year's Akeem Williams, where he's just huge and he comes in with great conditioning. And in contrast to Akeem Williams, I believe that Nathan Yasha will indeed edge out William Bonac. But again, guys, I might be crazy. I might be smoking crack. We will find out shortly in just a few days. Now we come to the top four. And the top four is what I think will be the most exciting spots, I guess, this year. My English is a bit off today, but whatever. Let's go. Number four, I have this guy. And again, this is a placing that I am not so sure about, guys. Not so sure about. Because I think that it will be really, really close between him and number three. And I think that one muscle group will make the entire difference, and that is the legs, guys. Now, I think that you guys can already tell who I'm going to have in the top three, and all of those three guys have amazing legs. So I think that, in my opinion, compared to them, Brandon Curry will just not do enough. So that is why I have none other than the rookie Nick Walker edging him out. And as I said, guys, I might just regret this because I think that Brandon Curry has the much more aesthetically pleasing and better structure than Nick Walker. I think that he's slightly wider, he is taller, and he has the much better waistline. But the legs, guys, the legs. Nick Walker from the back and from the front has one of the best legs in the IFBB today, and Brandon Curry is the total opposite, unfortunately. So in my opinion, that will make up the difference. So I think I have Nick Walker placing third, and I think that that will be an amazing place for him to wind up at his very first Mr. Olympia. Now, a lot of people might also have Mr. Nick Walker higher than this, but I just do not see him beating the guys that I have in the top two. And the guys that I don't see him beating is, first of all, none other than the guy I have in second, Hadi Chupan. Now, this photo is from the 2019 Vancouver Pro, and I wanted to include this photo because that show had amazing lighting, and so did the 2021 Honor Classic, in contrast to the 2020 Mr. Olympia, which did not have the best of lighting. And due to this fact that the lighting was so good at the 2021 Mr. Olympia and so subpar at the 2020 Mr. Olympia, I believe that a lot of people think that for that reason, Nick Walker looks more impressive, more conditioned, and he will edge Hadi Choopan out. But I do not believe that this will be the case when they are under similar lightning conditions. I believe that Hadi Choopan will edge Nick Walker out. And Hadi Choopan, he is just as complete as Nick Walker, in my opinion. He isn't really lacking any body parts, in contrast to Brandon Curry, for example, who is lacking when it comes to the legs department. So I believe that Hadi Choopan will edge out Nick Walker, but I think that it will be a real battle between the top four guys. I believe that it will be close among them all. So it's hard to tell, but in my opinion, I have this guy in second. But guys, in first place, your 2021 Mr. Olympia champion, in my opinion, will be this guy. Now, the biggest threat to Big Ramy is none other than Big Ramy himself. He has a history, unfortunately, of coming in soft, coming in off, not really doing enough to win, I guess. And last year he proved that if he comes in peeled, he doesn't really have any competition. And I believe that this year he will indeed come in peeled again. But we'll see, guys. We'll see. He will either come in peeled, in my opinion, and he will just smoke everyone, or he will come in totally off, and the guys or the other guys that I have in the top four will really push him. But guys, I believe that more than likely he will come in peel or peeled enough to just smoke everyone. He is called Big Ramy for a reason. This guy is just huge. He is complete. He isn't really lacking any muscle group or body part. So, yeah, guys, I believe that this will be your 2021 Mr. Olympia champion. But we will see. Anyway, guys, that was it. We'll find out if my predictions are correct or totally off in just a couple of days. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree or if you think that I am totally on the crack pipe. And that's it, guys. I'll see you guys later.